Hello and welcome back to our endgame playthrough of Lost Kingdoms 2. Today we're attempting the Sacred Battle Arena Part 2, one of the endgame locations for the game, which you can only fully access after finishing the majority of the main story. Now, in order to do this level, I've levelled my neutral and mech attributes to 6 stars, because I need to be skilled enough with them to be able to open the door. And to that end, I'm going to be doing the mech one first, because this was the highest my mech attribute will ever be, because mech cards tend to be pretty bad. I'm just going to set up the first fight, and then we'll go in. Okay, we're ready for the first fight. I'm using one of my new cards, the Matador, which evolves from the Berserker, and I'm going to use the Green Guardian combo. The Matador here is not too important, its job is just to buy some time for the elves. Now this is the Astrobot, and he is the strongest independent mech creature that you can get. He's actually a weapon when you obtain him, but he is the toughest mech to fight against. And we particularly want to use the elves against him because of an attack he has at close range, where he actually spins around in a circle, fires all of his guns, and will just decimate things near him. Now these elves are necessary because they'll try and stay out of the way of him as long as possible. And they'll just chip him down from a distance. As well as that, if I use my body as a shield, triggering that attack, then the elves can just heal me up. So this shouldn't be too hard to battle for most players because of how slow moving he is and how weak he is in general. But we get his card regardless. Now, the important thing here is we have a good amount of health on the elves. We pick up this red fairy on the way, who gives us a combo with the Thanatos and the Valkyrie. And we usher in all of our lovely elves. So come on in, elves. I'm going to need you for this. Everyone in? Perfect. Because here's a familiar face for you. It's Leod. We have to do the Sacred Battle Arena after the main story, because you can only fight King Leod if he is dead. And he dies during the course of the main story, so yeah. Now, why is he here? Well, Gerd turns out to be essentially an avatar of the God of Harmony, and she collects the spirits of noble dead warriors in order to use them to train new heroes in her Sacred Battle Arena. And so King Leod, as the only notable mech weapon user, has been put in here. And we're going to get the Sacred Umpire card from him. So the Sacred Umpire is the only 8-star mech unit in the game, and it's honestly pretty bad. Its effects are entirely random. Now, I'm doing some sequencing here. My elves aren't going to last for much longer, so I've got the Valkyrie out, and I'm going to kill all of my elves. My Valkyrie gets stronger the more elves, or of any creatures in fact, have died while she's in my hand. So it's a really important thing for me to do, to start charging her up now. We're also going to head over to the neutral arena. The neutral boss is kind of jumpy, so we have a particular strat to deal with him. And I'm going to set that up now. So as we enter, I'm going to throw down the Decoy Pillar, which is a really, really valuable card in this fight because it focuses Rabandos's attention. He's going to spawn now, and he should try and do lasers. Now, I should be hitting with Valhalla because of the amount of creatures that have died, but Meteor Shower has a higher reward. And if it hits enough, I should be able to do a huge amount of damage to Rabandos before anything else even happens. Lich should be able to get some damage in, but the Decoy Pillar is just in the right position that Rabandos's laser barrage is going to miss most of the time, but he's still going to be able to survive against his dash. So I'm waiting for him to do the attack, then going in to chop him up with the Whirling Blade of the Jade Giant. And that's going to finish off Rabandos, giving me the Rabandos card. Discarding the Decoy Pillar here for later use. And then I'm going to get set up for the next fight. So, for the next fight, I'm going to lead off with a Matador. And then trigger Helena, who's one of the secondary bosses in the initial game. Now, one of her most powerful cards is this Ice Skeleton. It's incredibly slow, but really packs a punch. We don't want to try and fight it, if possible. So we're going to try and distract the enemy as much as possible with the Matador, who can decoy but can also attack. Notice it took basically no damage against my Baromet's card, even though it was right there. But we're all about trying to chip down Helena here. Clear out all of her Demon Hounds, which shouldn't be a big problem for us in order to try and kill, but just keep our focus on the Runestone user. We actually managed to just chip down the Ice Skeleton, which, given how much health it has, is pretty impressive. Now we'll just finish her off. And that gives us the Ice Skeleton card, which is going to be really useful. Very strong independent card, and can be combined with other skeletons as well. So running back through the battle arena here, hopefully there should be a deck point so that I can replenish some of my used up cards with some of the new cards we got from today. There isn't, so we're just going to have to be bold. Get a quick red fairy. No one's ever defeated all of the Guardians. Well, that's about to change, my friend. So we're getting ready now to fight yet another Runestone Master. And for this, we're going to want some independence. And setting up with some skeletons here is going to be a good idea. Let's go for an Apsaras and an empowered demon skeleton here, ready to fight Thalnos, who is the Runestone Master and the boss of the first game. So, waiting for some more magic stones. We're going to get some hits in on Thalnos here. And the skeleton's going to do a lot of work. In fact, the skeleton might just be able to solo him. Until he gets his own steel skeleton out. Which is going to mean we probably want to use a cranial charge here. We should just about have the hitbox for it. Or if not, we dodge some damage. Apsaras doing a good job here. And my skeleton's been petrified. So some support from myself with the Devata should help. Get some important hits in on Thalnos. Skeleton's just running all over the place. Not much you can do about that. I can try and distract him. Get some long-range hits in. Pick up some more magic stones. Dodge some demon hits. As the skeletons just attack each other endlessly. And we finally managed to get him. Giving us Sekhmet, which of course I already have because I evolved it. And this actually leads us to the final battle of the Sacred Battle Arena. Lots of cards left in our deck, so we're quite happy. And it's Queen Catia's Chamber. Isn't she the legendary queen who saved the entire world in Lost Kingdoms 1? This is going to be quite the fight. Lots of powerful enemies in this fight. And so, we get ready to fight her. Immediately, we're going to want to have the skeleton, the demon skeleton in our hand. Very powerful card. Fast, deadly, and here she is. immediately leading off with the meteor shower. Just cover a huge area and hopefully it hits her before she gets out some of her ace cards. She's going to summon the whipworm. We don't care too much about that. There are deadlier things. But it does make her very difficult to approach. Hence why we try to hit her with some of the... Oh no, I'm getting stun locked. In fact, going across with the Thunder Breath here with the Ryuhei should be a good idea. Low, of course, very low on health, and 2 of my cards are being cursed. At this point, I'm forced to rely on casting from my own health. And she hit me with a point-blank doppelganger. Shows how tough she actually is. Okay, so this is our second attempt at Katia. We're going to have to fight Thalnos again, of course, as is tradition. But we should have everything that we need here. The Demon Skeleton, now only costing 10. Absolutely brilliant value. Triggering Thalnos, and immediately going to try and hit him with some Wind Waves to buy the skeleton time to get in. He gets his own, but the Charadrius is going to be able to hit him through the skeleton. Skeletons distracting each other here. But if we go in and use the Sonic Tail, we have a 360-degree angle attack, which should be able to hit him and his skeleton at the same time. We get more blood for the Blood God, or alternatively the Valkyrie, whatever you want to call her. We just calmly walk away from the Necromancer skull. Look, it's so slow. Ah! There's such an expression called being hoisted by your own petard, and I think I've just done that. Some Fire Breath should coat the area, allow me to get through the skeleton, hit Thalnos for a good chunk of damage. It's going to come back with the Great Demon card. Of course, the Elephant going to try and attack again here. And he's actually managed to kill my Demon Skeleton. So we're going to try Valhalla here. This will hit all of the enemies in the area. And just kill Thalnos. Now, I don't get a reward from that because I've already had his card. But now we get ready for the big boss again, Queen Katia. So we're going to go for some trusty elves and a decoy pillar. Now, starting off with the Green Guardian here is pretty important because my health is low. So when I start off this battle, my role is to distract a little bit and hope that they manage to just chip down the Whipworm before all of my elves just die. The Whipworm being a particularly annoying enemy in this fight, it will just keep knocking you down. But she has a ridiculous amount of health. To the extent that I'm actually going to try and Landlubber Mash. Even though it's going to cost me 26. To clear both some of her health and some of her Whipworm's health. Summon some more skeletons here. Skeletons are going to give me a mana refill. And hopefully stun lock her long enough that she can take some serious damage. A huge part of this fight is trying to prevent her from using her ace card, the Doppelganger, which can just kill you in one hit. So keep the pressure up. If your skeletons die, just replace them. They're there because they're expendable. We probably want to go for the snooze attack here so that the Sphinx can wear off. And it gets rid of the whipworm, so we're quite happy. Hitting her with a Sekhmet here, going to once again refill our mana. Also is able to hit her on the side. Coming out, another whipworm. And a doppelganger. If that hits you, you die. So this is the priority of avoiding, and I think she's just going to cheese me. Ah, it hit her own whipworm. We're still good. We're still good. Throw down a Matador. Use the invincibility frame from throwing a card. Before getting some decoy action in. Use it to line up the Green Vengeance, which should hit everything in a plus shape. So you can actually control it. And that will get her. Second time's the charm, but then that whipworm plus the doppelganger can just destroy you. And that's actually going to end the Sacred Battle Arena. It went very badly, but what can you do? Sometimes that happens. It gives us the Laserbug 39k, which we didn't have before. So, you can only perform this action once, but I have no Lost Kingdoms 1 save data, so I can always refight her to grant myself all of the cards from the first game. So thank you very much for watching that episode. I've been Scissors Lizards, and in our next episode we're going to go and try to conquer the Proving Grounds and capture the Emperor. So thank you for watching, and tune in next time.